Okay, so I've got my magnetometer. It's not a very good one because it doesn't show you the poles, but it does show you the it just show you where the magnetic field is coming out. So right, this is an add-on. I'll put the link for this one in the part 1. Right, so if I turn my magnetometer on, we can see where the field, how far it comes out. So when we get to the front, let me just rotate it, hang on. When I get to the front, there's nothing there, look. Till we get to about there. We go above it, we get some there. So if I come to this point and we back out, you can see it weakens off. So we could draw a line around the field, or you can imagine it by seeing where my tip is. Alright, we'll come around it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. I'm trying to, so you can see how far the field is there. So on a rotor assembly, well, if this was on a rotor, let me come around here, so it's weak, nothing there. Hang on, there's a button in. Yeah. So this is the out. This is where it starts to deflect. Right. When it starts to push away on this side, we get to here, and it gets stronger, and then it's pushing more, and we get around here, and then it's pushing a lot more there, and a lot more there. So basically, that means that when we're using our magnet on a stator, when these are magnets coming in, it doesn't have much effect, but it'll stick to that end, because so if this is on a rotor and it's moving, it's basically going to skip by. So it's very light, this is, that's why it jumps so easy. So basically when we get around here, it'll push it. It will push it away once we get to this angle. At this angle, if this is a stator magnet, it will push, you see, at that point. So on this side we can see it keeps pulling. It's pulling in at this side. So these magnets are wanting to jump out of my hand a bit, but so this side's pulling there. So I haven't got a lot of pull on that side because I want more push than pull, because the pull tends to cause a lot more drag issues. Oops, we do have quite a bit because it's attracted to the iron as well, the steel, the shielding that I put in there. So right, so when we get to a certain when we get past the top dead center, which is the key part really, it's just getting past that top dead center part. And when we get past there, we want it to push it away, which it does. So we can see that. I'm only using small magnets right now. These little ones, these tiny little 5mm ones. I think they're 5mm. Hang on, I can't remember now. I think they are. Oops. Oh, hang on. My calipers are... helps it to get in between. I'll try and do it this way. Hang on. Stupid thing. Get in there. That magnets don't want to go in. Right. I'm just squeezing it together. Right. So what are we at? 5mm. Yeah. Right. So I've also been testing with really strong magnets, these much bigger ones. Turn that off. And if I come in at the push angle, it definitely works. It pushes. That's what we want on the, when it goes past. The key part is I don't want it to be attracting too much, but it keeps spinning around, as you can see. But basically I don't want it to be attracted to this end, and it isn't, because, well, as you saw with this magnetometer thingamajig, there's no field in the middle because it's cancelled out through that shielding, because the field that goes from that end to that end, it's negative in the middle, which is what we want. And as we get nearer this end, that's when the push field starts to take effect. But back out a bit, and we get over here, it gets stronger and stronger, which is what we want. Because remember, we're past top dead center, right? So as long as it's past top dead center and it starts to push there, then the rotor's going to be going in that direction, isn't it? Because it's pushing at that point. Whereas if we're before top dead center, if we're at this angle, we still want this to be moving in that direction. That way, therefore, this having it pull in here is okay, right? So if it's coming, if this is on a rotor and this is a stator, and we're coming in, we're pulling, and we get to top dead center and it stops, right? We have no field there, and then we want it pushing at that point past top dead center, and that does do that. So, but as you saw, it wants to return to its own primary attraction pole, which is always a problem, which is what I'm trying to tune out a bit more. I'm trying to increase the gap, the space between the two endpoints. I did do that earlier with just two magnets, one at each end and the piece of ferrite in the middle. That worked quite well, but I wanted to expand the field, so I took the ferrite out and put 4 magnets in, because I wanted to see what it would do with 4 magnets instead of just a bit of ferrite. So obviously we can't really test this until I get it on the rotor and you know, find a drive shaft for it. You know, that other thing that I went and took the drive shaft out of. I'm thinking it's somewhere around. I don't know where I put it, the spare bit, but yeah. Oh well, we'll get there. We'll find something. Anyway, but before I print 4 of these, which I don't want to do yet because it's wasting plastic if I just keep printing. If I print 4 and they're all wrong, then I've got to do another 4 and then another 4. It's best to get this one right. So I'm making modifications to it, and I'm testing it with this thing until I get to a point where this over here is dead and this over here is dead, because it's not dead at the moment. I want to have the field kicking about here at this point on the end, and the field for the pull kicking over here. I want the gap to be a bit bigger, so I did add some more shielding in here. What I was thinking about was removing the big magnet that I've got in there, because it's not a big magnet really, it's a small magnet, but I've got some foil wrapped around it, a bit of tin foil, what you could steel actually, nickel, yeah, in the middle. So what I was thinking about was instead of having one of those, have 2, have one over here and have one over here between the 2 shields, so that this one will cancel out that one at this end, so we should have a better dead zone. I was thinking about doing that, but I'll have to make this thing a lot bigger to do that, because I'm running out of space, and because of the previous mock-up. Oh, I'm still charged. Got the charge. That thing over there that I was showing in the previous video. I'm a bit size limited, so all I can do is use smaller magnets, but we'll figure it out. I did move this in the model SketchUp. I did move it down a bit to give me more room at the top here. What I can do is alter the shape of the shielding that's down here, move that down a bit, because that shouldn't make much of a big difference actually, because Yeah, but I'm not doing that now. I'm just too tired. Anyway, thank you for watching.